So what's going on, YouTube? I'm here with my fiance, Kaija. This is some of you guys' first times meeting her. We are in front of our very first investment property that we just closed on. We're gonna show you guys it right now. We're super pumped. Baby, what you think?
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, let's show you guys around. First and foremost, let me introduce you guys to my realtor, my friend Hassan. Hassan is somebody that certainly walked me through this entire process. He coached me, and he's an active investor himself, and so I definitely picked his brain a lot, and I'm going to be bugging him throughout this entire process because I don't know all of the tips and tricks. But Hassan, tell my audience about yourself.
Yeah, so I've known Nick a while, and I mainly specialize with customers and clients who want to get some passive income going. Like, that means that you make money while you're asleep or on vacation or taking it easy. So Nick reached out to me. He says he wanted to make some passive income, and we specialize in furnished rentals, but I'm a big believer in I have to do it myself to really know about it. So I invest in several of my own, and I'm happy to share any tips and tricks.
Yeah.
You know?
We go back, we came from banking together. Back when I was at US Bank, he was a big shot, you know, big shot business banker. We're here in Las Vegas. I don't even know if we mentioned that. We're here in Vegas, and so, you know, this is really cool because 2 years ago when my very first YouTube video was, I just bought my first house.
My name is Nicholas Sakha. My very first YouTube videos ever.
And 2 years later, not exactly 2 years later, we got our first investment property. So
this is a really attractive thing right now. Furnished rentals are really hot. Vegas has a big shortage of doctors, nurses, business travelers who need something temporary, right? They don't need a year lease. They need something 3 months, 6 months. And they don't want to move all their furniture here. They don't necessarily move their family. This is really close to the medical district. It's really close to the strip. So it kind of hits all those things. The key is, though, Nick really wanted to find a nice house. And this is a house that we could attract some of those high-end clients.
that, and I wanted something to where whenever we were throwing, like if we're gonna throw like a Super Bowl party or a birthday party, that we could use this property ourselves. And so with this living area, I think it's gonna be really cool to put some sort of a TV or a projector somewhere right here, couches, of course, like a pool table. Foosball table was a really good recommendation. You know, what's really cool is you actually have some properties in this kind of area as well.
Yeah, so this area is called Section 10. So Section 10 is a little bit older part of town, but they all have really big lots. Many of them are single story. But once they've been updated, they're beautiful homes. We have about 6 furnished rentals within 2 miles of this property. And that's what really attracted us to this one. You know, they rent from anywhere between $15,000 to $20,000 a month, which is good revenue as an owner, but still really beneficial for those business travelers or furnished rentals for nurses and doctors.
So let's show you guys around. So it's a 4-bedroom, how many bathrooms? Three? Three bathrooms. So this will be cool. Now, this is a huge work in progress. Not a huge work in progress, but we've got to clean the pool a little bit. We will show you guys, you know, what I plan on doing with this series is after about a year, talking about things I've learned, mistakes that I've made. But I'm a big believer in getting around people that have done it. And so that's where I'll be leaning on Hassan.
Yeah, some fun stuff with this is that one of the biggest things you look at is how fast can I go live, right? Because otherwise it's sitting here. So this property is great for that because, yeah, we can envision like lots of future stuff, but right now it looks really nice. If a family came over here, they would still have a really nice, you know, open area to spend some good time and huge pool. Like, you don't see backyards like this in Vegas anymore. You see those tiny ones where you reach out and you can touch the back wall.
Yeah. You know, anybody that's in Vegas, shout out to my boy Nick and Harmony Home Loans. They got this deal done super quick. So Hassan, what are 3 criteria that shows somebody's ready to start investing in real estate?
Great question. And I think the very first one is affordability. You know, the most important thing is you have to know that there's going to be ups and downs whenever you have an investment property. and being able to have the affordability to invest in one. There are expenses between repairs, furnishing, your mortgage payment, whether you have a long-term rental or a short-term rental, there might be a month where you have to make that mortgage payment. So I always say affordability is number one. Number two is if you're looking for any sort of side income, right? We all want to make money while we're sitting on the beach, so passive income or side income is that second side. And then the last one is if you need any tax write-offs. Investment properties are great for tax benefits, and you can talk to your CPA, your tax person to look into it. There's tons of resources online also, or you can even call me and I'd be happy to share.
That's one of the things why I got this property is we would like to make money on it monthly, as well as to have an asset that pays itself over time. And so we could be chilling on a beach, like you said. Yeah, there's so much stuff. Like we're thinking we could do cornhole right here, barbecue somewhere. Right behind you is this little deck. My grandma said something funny when she was here. She's like, "Oh, you could do live music right here." Like, I was like, yeah, why not? Hassan, what are 3 of the most important things that you look at when you're looking for short-term rentals?
So I think number one has to be location. Whether you're in Vegas or anywhere in the country or in other countries, location's important. Whether it's buying your own house or for short-term rentals. Reason is that in Vegas you got to be close to the strip. Location you can't change how a house looks, but you can change where you're located. Second thing is no HOA. HOAs have lots of rules, they have stipulations. That's going to be a way that's going to put restrictions on what you can do. And the very last one is you got to get in at a good price. And a good price is a combination of how much work needs to be done as well as what you're buying it for. Because whatever you buy that property for is going to be stuck with you forever.
We got figs over here. Fig trees. My mom actually bit into it when she was here. So. I was asking you a lot of questions as I was looking for properties. One of them being, what are some of the big mistakes that rookie investors make? And so what are they?
So I think one of the biggest ones is you go cheap, right? You try and get in as cheap as possible. You go cheap on the furniture, you go cheap on remodels, but you're always going to end up paying for it in the long run. If you get cheap furniture, you have to replace that furniture often. And most of the time, after you replace the furniture once, you've already broken even on nicer furnishings.
It's like getting a cheap tattoo.
Yeah, like getting a cheap tattoo that's spelled wrong.
Yeah, you got to get paid to get it replaced. Some of the other questions that I had was, that you kind of convinced me was, you don't want to be like the entry level short-term rental. Like you want to make sure that that you have something that sticks out about your property, that's a little bit more on the luxury side to compete with Vegas, right? Yeah. In the hotels.
Well, I think branding is so important. We see it in everything. Same reason people always say, well, you don't find a BMW for $20,000. You want that high-end stuff. Louis Vuittons hold value because they never have sales. So that's the same thing whenever you're going to have any sort of rental or investment, is do you want to compete at the lowest common denominator on price, or do you want to set yourself apart and stand out and have a luxury type product?
A chicken coop. I don't know what we're going to do with that yet, but we're definitely not going to have no chickens in there. We were talking about sound equipment that kind of monitors that, informs you if guests are being loud.
Yeah, so there's several different programs out there that can do monitoring stuff. So like in this house, we would have put one right here on the patio. It'll give a notification if they're too loud, notify the guests. Sometimes you set it on a timer, so it's not going to go off during the day, but after 10 p.m., let's say. You just want to kind of protect yourself. You have a rental, so you're still responsible as the owner for anything. So if the cops get called or anything crazy like that, you do what you can to mitigate. You can't prevent all of it, but you do what you can to mitigate risk.
Do you have anything that just caught you off guard when getting into this game? Like anything that just blindsided you and you were like, I did not expect that?
I think the biggest one that popped up to me was how expensive furnishing is. Like the cost of furnishing is a big shocker, because you're like, well, I can furnish my house, I could do this, and then when you actually go through it and you find out the cost, wow, that's that.
Especially, what does it cost typically to furnish a house like this?
So if you want to do it right and have like good quality, and you were to like outsource furnishing to someone else, it would probably cost somewhere to $50,000 to $60,000 to furnish this house. Like TVs, dishes, and all of that. Because a lot of times when you move into a house, you're getting it as you go. But if you're doing it in one shot, it is pretty expensive.
Yeah, even my house, that like we just bought little things as they went, So, and it feels like it takes forever. So, okay. Any any weird guest stories that where it's like what? Like, what do you mean that happened?
What do you mean by that?
Most of the guests are fine, right? You have your spectrum. Like most of the people are going to treat the house pretty well, but you have all these like off the wall ones that come up. You know, one was they threw a party in the house and there was glitter in the pool. So the pool company had a fun time cleaning that out. But we've also had some great ones. You know, we've had some really nice, you know, families come and stay and, you know, rave about it and have a really nice story to it.
All right, Hassan, what is your advice for me if you had to start day one? You know, like, imagine you're in my shoes. This is your first property. What's your one last piece of advice for me?
So if I could do it all over again and start over, I would make nice with the neighbors right away. Maybe drop off some nice gifts to them. Furnish it well and furnish it well with design. Add a little unique taste to it. And I think it's actually fun to add your own spin to it. The third one's kind of funny. It's wallpaper. Like when you normally think of wallpaper, you think of the really like old-fashioned stuff, but there's a lot of designer wallpaper out there. Like we're working on a property right now. It's a 12-unit apartment complex, and you know there's one big wall in there, and we're going to put there's like some husky puppies. There's going to be pictures of the Grand Canyon, and if it's done right, it really adds that immersive type experience that stands out. Not all the rooms, but you get one wall that has some nice wallpaper, and it can really pop.
I've seen fancy Vegas type properties on the internet that on like Instagram where it's like one room is like the Luxor room, one room is the Flamingo room, like so they're kind of modeling after like the different casinos and stuff like that. So is that what you mean?
In some ways, yeah. We have a property that has a Godfather room, an Elvis room, a Showgirl room, a Rat Pack room, right? And it went to the extent of where we got like old playing cards from the casinos and then put them like in an acrylic case. All of those things kind of like they pop and stand out.
They add to it. Okay, very cool, awesome. Well, look, if you guys got some value, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and comment. You guys have Hassan's information. We'll drop it in the link below. If you guys have any questions regarding investing in real estate, he has a pretty extensive background, and so yeah, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Peace.